Welcome, everyone, to a brand new episode of the Action Movie Guys podcast, episode 476. We're up to Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol from 2011. I'm your host, Alex Figueroa, and my co-host is
Nate from Netflix Reviews.
Did you see this movie? I assume from 3 on up, you've seen it in the theater. What was your initial reaction when you first saw this in the theater?
Yeah, so a couple of things. Number one, I did see this at the theater. I saw it in IMAX, specifically because they shot the scene on the building where he's like outside with the gloves and stuff. It was shot in IMAX. Now, you're not going to get it at home. It just stays the same. But at the theater, it was amazing. Also, this movie had a 8-minute like prologue scene for The Dark Knight Rises attached to it for IMAX, specifically if you went to IMAX. So I was like, I got to see this in IMAX. So yeah, I saw this at the theater back in 2011 in the big IMAX theater. And I remember really liking it at the time. So I thought it was really good.
I saw this in the theater. I agree with you. I think 3. I don't know if I saw 3. I get confused with 3, but
I saw 4 on.
Yeah, I saw 4 definitely and an ongoing. The only one I did see. Did I see the last one in the theater? Yes, I think I did. Yes, I did see it in the theater, but I saw it late, during the thing. So when it came to 4, me and my wife went to see it, and I was like, "Yo!" I remember coming out the theater. I was like, "This is actually pretty good." I'm like, they have something in their hands. I was not disappointed. I remember the theater really enjoyed it, and I think this is the first film to me that you got to see the stunt work in action, because we all know now that he was hanging outside of a building. And you're like, whoa. And that's the Abu Dhabi building, which I was like, that's a beautiful building. Again, you're right. I mean, the IMAX. Now, watching this in 4K, I don't think I saw the aspect ratio IMAX on 4K, right? It wasn't.
Did not.
Yeah, it didn't do the
switch at all, even though those scenes were filmed with IMAX cameras.
Yeah, I think we're going to get that like on an anniversary for the first time ever in 4K IMAX version.
Now it'll give you vertigo all over again. Just how you remember at the theater.
Yes, if you felt nauseous the first time, relive it again.
Dude, it was scary. I remember it being like, it's tripping me out. I feel like I'm going to fall off my chair.
No, I agree. Even the scene that when he pops the window out and you hear the wind going, and he goes, man, this is high. I don't think I could have done that. Like, my wife knows I'm afraid of heights. There's no way you're getting me near that window. So even open the glass, I would have been like, I'm good. But anyway, how did this movie work for the audience? Now, box office wise, before we get to you, let's get to the box office. Domestic. Okay. Well, anyway, budget was $145 million. Okay. Domestic, it did 209. This movie did not do well. Even with you saying that it slapped the Dark Knight sequel into this, not many people went to see this movie. International $485 million for a worldwide $694.
So it made a lot, but
it made a lot of money, but overseas. But it's so, again, Abu Dhabi. So you're gonna see a lot of people want to go, because of their countries and whatever.
Russia.
My thing.
They go to Russia in this one?
Yeah, Russia. Yeah, they went to Russia. Yeah. They're Kremlin. It's funny. I thought that was like a made up place, and Angelina was like, "No, that's a real." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, that's real.
So with all the international pull here, it looks like the movie does do well in internet. It does not do good at all in domestic. Now we don't know. I mean, we know what's going to happen in a few 2 sequels down, but in terms of this one, where we're going to give you our reviews on it, what we think of it still. I was shocked when I saw this number, 209. I thought we were at 395, 400, 209. Are you shocked?
I'm less shocked than you, only because I know that this is a very international brand for some reason. Now, it is based on an American TV show, right?
Yeah.
Like, this was not a TV show from overseas, like the Avengers, not the Marvel one, the other one, the one that they made a movie with Uma Thurman and Ray Fiennes.
Oh, yes,
like
yes, a spy one. Yeah.
Yeah, like they have, British things, but this is an American TV show, and it's a pretty American brand. It's an American government thing, and yet I think it's the globe-trotting aspect of it, right? I think it's the fact that most of them are not set in the U.S. They're always happening somewhere overseas. Right. And Tom Cruise is an international star, right? He is one of the last true A-list Hollywood stars, and those kind of actors tend to do well everywhere, U.S., overseas. I don't think 209 is a great number, but I don't think it's a horrible number either, knowing that they're going to get the international money. So, I don't know. I mean, almost $700 million in box office is pretty darn good. I got to be the most, I think, so far out of all these movies.
It's the most so far, which I just pulled it out right now because, okay, so here it is. Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, like I told you, budget of 145.
Yep.
Part 3 was 150. So this was $5 million less to make.
Wow.
Now, it made more money. Domestic was 209. Mission Impossible 3 was 134. But me and you talked about it. Our theory was Mission Impossible 2 gave a bad taste in the mouth. People were like, we're not going to go see that. But international was 264. Mission Impossible 3. International 485. So it doubled what it made. So they got another hit. I'm not saying they didn't have a hit. But my curiosity that killed the cat, I was thinking, hey, what movies came out? Because I remember me and you were talking, these people always want to put these movies up against some weird-ass movies. Well, I looked it up for December. Sherlock Holmes, The Game of Shadows came out. Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. Alvin and the Chipmunks Shipwreck. The Girl and the Dragon Tattoo. Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 1.
Oh, that was a freaking, that movie made like $500 million itself.
Yeah, those were the 5 big movies of December of 2011. So I don't think it hurt by, I mean, it did. I think domestically, I think it got hurt by that.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's weird that it was a Christmas time release, to be honest. Especially when the other ones have been like kind of summer releases.
Dude, Ghost Protocol came out December 16 with Sherlock Holmes and A Game of Shadows.
Yeah, another sequel, but another sequel to a popular film with an international audience. Like, whoever, listen, we've said it before, whoever at Paramount schedules the Mission Impossible movies needs to be fired. They need to be fired. They put them out at the same time or right before or right after other huge movies all the time. All the time. And like, they still do well, but they could do better.
I looked it up. We're not doing it. We are going to add it to the podcast because
we have the Sherlock Holmes movies on the schedule.
Yeah, we do. And I like those, but I just wanted to do this quick. I just wanted to see these numbers. We're looking at 543 million worldwide.
For Sherlock?
So it came out Sherlock. Game of Shadows.
This one did better overall.
It did better. So I think international was still less, 357.
But what if Sherlock didn't come out? That's even extra money for this movie.
You're right. Anyway, with that said, that's box office talk.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the critics and audience talk. What did they think about this movie?
Very good. These are very good scores. These are very good scores. I'll start with the audience because it's lower than I thought it might be. This has a 6% increase from part 3. Okay. So a 76%. Still good, but I thought it'd be a little higher. I thought it'd be a little higher. Part 3, 70%. This one, 76%, but it's trending up, right? From 2, 3 was higher than 2. Now 4 is higher than 3. That's what you want, right? You want to, keep going up. The critic score is way higher. This one is 20% increase from part 3. This has a 93% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow.
So for an action film or, spy movie, whatever you want to call it, very high, 93%. So very well received. Again, part 3 had a 73% critic score. So this was up on both fronts. So up in money, up in reviews. Did we like it better? I don't know. I mean, I guess we're going to find out shortly.
We are going to find out, but let's check it out right now. Okay, lead character, entire gang is back. Brand new 2 agents. You got new guys, but
Brandt.
Brandt with Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner playing Brandt. We have Jane, played by Paula Patton. And we don't have our boy, Ving Rhames. Lucius, I mean, he has a cameo, but he's not in the movie, really. And then Ethan Hunt, of course. And as far as like the director...
Simon Pegg.
Simon Pegg's back. Had a small role in 3, a bigger role here. You have Tom Wilkinson making a short appearance. A great actor, by the way. Tom Wilkinson, one of the best. He's like the
secretary.
He's the IMF guy, but he dies. Spoiler alert. But still, a great actor. A great acting try. Like, I like the pick. Okay, all that said, all right, I was torn here. I was a little bit torn because, of course, I ultimately... To me, even though I like to score the team and everything, which I will talk about, I like Ethan Hunt is our main guy, and I base most of my points on him, right? So I'm going to say I gave it a 4 for the lead character. I think we added a lot from in part 3 that wasn't there in part 2, right? With the wife and things like that. Here, it kind of goes back to like him from like 1, or if that makes sense. Like, yes, she's still mentioned, but she's no longer in the picture. Clearly they split up, not because of they didn't love each other, but just for safety reasons. He was like, this is not going to work out. I can't be happy if I'm married and I'm an agent in this thing. So, it wasn't like a hatred thing, but they split up. And so there's not that same like stakes that I think part 3 gave him and that he had, but this is still way better than 2. He's not like a ladies' man. He's not out here trying to bang women or, whatever. So I like that. I think he's good. He definitely comes across more as like a team leader in this one than he did in the other ones. I feel like in the first 3, he was part of the team. And yeah, he's like kind of the best agent usually that's involved. He's the one that does the real crazy hard stuff. But here he kind of felt like the leader of the group, which I liked. So they did add a little something with that because he never feels like the leader of the group in the other 3, in my opinion. He just feels like the one that has to do the physical stuff. You know what I mean? So I like that. I gave him 4. The team. This is my favorite team so far of the 4 movies. I like Maggie Q in part 3 with and Jonathan Rhys Myers. He was good. And, of course, Lucius, always good. However, I think the combo of Simon Pegg, Paula Patton as Jane, and then Brandt, Jeremy Renner at this point, this is when he was still kind of like on the up and up where he was getting a lot of big roles. It was like after Hurt Locker, then he got Marvel, right? He got Hawkeye, he got Bourne in that Bourne reboot, and he was starting to be in everything. I think this was a good use of him, like an agent who has like a past. He's an analyst. He's basically like a Jack Ryan because he's an analyst. But there's a reason why he switched from like field work, and you get the reveal later. I liked him. I thought he was cool. He's not Ethan Hunt, which is good. They could have just made him another version of Ethan, and they did not, which was good. Simon Pegg's funny, and Paula Patton's a great female agent, in my opinion. I thought she was great. She has some stakes, right? She wants revenge on the lady, on the girl from the Bond movies, who's the bad girl. So, like, I don't know. I thought the team was really strong, but still, I'm going to stick with my 4.
Her name is Leah
Seydoux is the actor.
Seydoux as Sabine Moreau.
Sabine Moreau. Yeah, her. Right. So they gave the female agent something to do other than be hot, like Maggie Q on it.
I agree. Okay, so I gave this movie a 4.5. I mean, the movie. I gave the characters a 4.5. My first 4.5 was since we came back. And I totally agree with you. I felt like this Ethan Hunt is cooler. He's funnier, a little funnier, but more serious. But I agree that it was a kind of a 360 once they removed the wife. He went right back to that agent Hunt mode. I like the team on this one. I agree. This is the best team that they assembled. I do wonder if Maggie Q was available, what her character would be with this team, because she could use her looks and she could actually fight. So it would have been interesting to see how that works. I wasn't too crazy with Tom Cruise in this because like we already know what Tom Cruise is. There was no better version than Tom Cruise. I think he becomes the same character now going down the line. I can't see them going new version of Ethan. So my thing is the team. Simon Pegg going from a tech guy to the on the field agent. I thought it was a cool thing because he does blemishes, which I think was funny. It worked out when they were on the mission. He's yapping up a storm and he's like, shut up. Right. And they're talking. So I thought that was pretty cool. Jeremy Ratner, I think, was the breath of fresh air to the team. I think the involvement of that character, since he was kind of a mystery, you really don't know who he is. Once he whoops that guy's ass and Ethan Hunt's like, wait a minute, you're an analyst? And then he looked at him like, uh-oh, I kind of blown my cover. But again, see, he's so good that he was believable. We've seen a lot of movies where certain actors go in this badass role like Agent Brody in Predator that we're just like, oh, come on, you're not believable in an action sequence, you know?
Yeah.
He is. Like when he fought those dudes with Tom Cruise next to him, I was like, okay, he literally feels like he's part of this world. And I love, my favorite scene with that character is when he's in the SUV and the guy is like, Ethan, I'm not going to tell you how to get out of this situation, but what happens if you hit me and knock me out and then you knock him out? He goes, wait, you what?
Oh, yeah,
he's like, he goes, I don't think that's going to work. Like
that, or when they're getting shot too. And he's like, how did you know that was going to work? He's like, I had a hunch. Hunch. Like, we're going to get shot and died. You know?
Yeah. Like, again, there was a lot of stuff, or when they're explaining the plan, and he's like, that's not going to work. When they got to go up the, 11 stories, and he's like, air duct. He's like, that's not going to work. Too much time. Everything. Like, he was the negative Nancy.
Oh, and he keeps doing the countdown, remember?
Yeah.
Like 7 minutes to look. It's like, all right, enough with it. Stop giving me the countdown. You're not helping.
Yeah, he's like, you're not helping the situation. So the characters, I think, blended very well together. When they all got and I feel like they all had their moments of shine, which I loved about this movie. It wasn't all about Ethan Hunt. Each character did their thing, which I love. And each character had a downfall, where Simon Pegg's version was when he was putting on the thing, his face came up on the camera, which I thought that was funny. And he grabbed him and you thought the mission was screwed up. Then Paula Patton's character kicks the girl out the window, right? And then he got mad. He goes, we were supposed to save the asset, not kill the asset. So I thought that was really good. Then Jeremy Renner gives you the whole, like, he was protecting his wife, and then Ethan Hunt knew already. So again, I thought everything worked out. The script was very well solid on the characters, on the lead characters. I thought they were really good together and worked well together. So that's the reason I gave it a 4.5. Now, main villain. Now we got
Hendrix is his name. Michael Nyqvist. He is from the original Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, the foreign one. He was also in the first John Wick movie. He was a bad guy.
Vigo.
Yep, I gave him a 2. I think this is one of the most forgettable villains in this entire franchise. I just do. I know, and I've always felt this way, even the first time I saw it. He is a scientist who he studies like nuclear stuff, bombs, whatever, weapons, and he wants to set off a nuke. He wants to steal one, and he wants to make it look like, first he wants to make it look like the U.S. attacked Russia. Then he wants to make it look like Russia responded by shooting a nuke at the U.S. And then, that's it. That's pretty much that's his big plan, is to do that. And I'm like, okay. But I don't know. He's super forgettable. I always forget. I never know his name. I always forget his name. I always know it's this actor who plays him. But like, I don't know. I it's tough because he does stuff, right? Like, he wears a mask. He's in there. He goes at the part at the Kremlin when they're doing their mission. He's doing his own on the side, stealing the codes or whatever. He's always interfering with them. But he's old guy. He's like an older guy. There's no like hand-to-hand fight. I mean, he tries to escape him there in the parking lot thing. But again, a horrible death. He kills himself. He jumps off I'm like, what kind of villain is this? He just jumps. He's like, you know what? I give up. And he jumps off, and he doesn't even die from that fall. He should have. It looked like he died, but he's still breathing at the end when he cancels the nuke or whatever. But I don't know. I almost gave him a 3, but then I was like, you know what? Honestly, when we're done watching these last 4, I'm going to forget this guy again. I just know it. He's just not memorable for me. I don't love him. I think his plan's a little too simple. I'm not a huge fan of him, so I gave him a 2. Not a 1, but a 2.
Okay, I went 1.5.
Whoa, lower than me.
I went lower than you by half point, 1.5. Okay, so this is the problem I have with this character. While you said everything, scientist, for a scientist, he's pretty stupid. I'm going to be honest with you. He masterminded everything, right? You're going, wow, he's pretty good. He blew up the Kremlin, which I gave him a lot of credit. I said, wow, this dude blew up a whole street, Kremlin, everything. I said, wow, that's dope. He folded their plans. Awesome. Cool. He got the IMF out. The president shut it down. He did the Gordon Ramsay. Shut it down. So I was like, okay, cool. The fight sequences was atrocious. I did not like the fight sequence. I don't know how you felt about the fight. We're going to talk about it, but I felt like that ending sequence was so anticlimactic for me. Because I was just like, it was not a believable scientist versus agent. Like, he could have got his ass whooped in 2 seconds from Ethan Hunt, which I just didn't understand why he didn't. But anyway, he throws himself to kill himself, which I was like, okay, that's, and I always said it. I was like, this is a stupid way to die. But my problem is, for a scientist, he should have had a backup plan, meaning he should have had 2 briefcases if you really wanted to blow up something. Because you knew they were coming after it. Why not have a decoy bracelet? You know what I mean? Like,
Also, now that we're talking about it, how the hell was he so fast when he was running away from him?
That's why I gave him the 1.5. You took it away from me.
55 years old and he's like outrunning him.
In a sandstorm. Bro, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I saw the sequence again and I said, okay, Tom Cruise is doing his legendary run. Overview. Full sprint. And I'm like, this dude could catch up to this 50-year-old guy. This 50-year-old guy was running like a triathlon runner. Because I was like, this dude is outrunning Tom Cruise in a storm. I said, there's no way. And then he gets on the car. He survives the hit from the BMW at full speed. Yeah. I was like, I'm deducting points because while the sequences look good, which we're going to talk about in a few seconds, I felt like the authenticity, which I know people can be like, oh, but this is a movie and this is spy, whatever. My thing is there's certain aspects to a character that I'm like,
yeah, I didn't even think about it. I not that I didn't think about it, but I just remember.
Yeah. Yeah. And then he outruns him even hopping. Like Tom Cruise runs after him and he's like this, and all of a sudden he ends up in the car and then he throws the thing. And I told Angelina, what happened in this sequence? And I know the movie would end quick. But I'm like, what happened if Ethan Hunt literally had his Glock 19 behind him and grabbed him and just shot him 5 times right there? He falls off the truck.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I just felt like that took away the villain for me. Like you're right. He's a 50-year-old guy getting outrunning the agent who's like 10 times more athletic.
Not only did he survive the car crash, he magically left the car, disappeared, went in a storm, outran him again, and then got on the back of a truck.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on.
And then I'll talk about it a little bit quick because he is part of you think he's a villain, the police officer that killed the secretary of defense. Okay, I don't know how that worked. I wanted to talk to you about that. Maybe we could talk about it during storyline because that is kind of storyline. But these guys literally killed the secretary of defense trying to get Ethan Hunt. And like, I'm like, wait a minute. Am I the only one who just saw this like on footage? Like the police officers killed
they make
high profile guy.
They make it look like, matter of fact, the scene where that scene, and then they drive off the bridge and land in the water, and then they're shooting like thousands of bullets. That's police. What? It's not even the bad guys, police. Like, it's not even the henchmen. It's not.
Yes.
Then the police like, all right, stop shooting. So,
yes.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's like, though, they think they're bad guys, period. They think they blew up the Kremlin. So it kind of makes sense when you think of it that way. This guy blew it up. We got to get him. Whoever he's with is probably bad.
I totally get it. But this guy's the Secretary of Defense with no people around him. Like no other cars around. Like, you know what I mean? Like
SUV.
detective.
That was it.
Yes. Like 5 other black SUVs. No, they had one SUV. He gets killed. And then, first of all, how did the cops know that he was going on that bridge? Like, again, I'm just like, we'll talk about his storyline. But yes, anyway, I gave him a 1.5. Okay, action sequences.
All right. I'm glad you had some 0.5s because I got a 0.5 here as well.
Oh.
My first 0.5 since we've been back. I gave it a 4.5. I did not give it a 5. I gave 3 a 5. I'm going to tell you why. I thought that this movie had more action in it than it does. It does not have as many action scenes as 3. And as a matter of fact, I would almost say, like, okay, for real, legit action scenes. You have the chase in the storm. That is, It's a foot chase, but then it's a car chase, and that's an action scene. You have the little fight at the end in the garage. It's an action scene. You have the scene with the papers with Paula Patton fighting the other girl as well. The girls fight.
Hotel.
Yep. You have things that I guess are action adjacent, but they're not like, there's no like big shootouts. There's no like big the Kremlin blows up. So, I mean, there is a big explosion, but like that scene is more of like a suspenseful scene than an action scene, right? Because they're walking around, they're hiding, they're doing espionage things, which I like. I'm not saying I don't like it, but is it like action? Not really. The scene where he's running on the building, a great scene, and a fantastically shot, looks great. The camera work. But like, it's also him slowly crawling up the side of a building. To me, it registers more as suspense than action. It just does. So what's here is really good. It's very well shot. It's pretty exciting. The cops with the car, Wilkinson and Brand in the car and all that, like that's action. They're shooting there. That's the most amount of bullets is the scene where they're shooting at the water in the, like to shoot them. So there is action. It is very well done. I'm going to give credit to the scenes that even though I feel they're more suspenseful, but I couldn't give it a 5 because to me, 3 had way more and it was very well executed. This has less, but it's still very well executed. So I ended up with a 4.5. Very memorable scenes, but like, are they true action? Not really, not to me. So I don't know. I gave it a 4.5.
Well, it's funny. It's great that we do this show because at least I have someone that has the same mental capacity as me. Because honestly, I was sitting here saying the same thing. I was like, when I finished the movie, I'm like, damn, the movie was more storyline than action.
Yeah.
Which you're absolutely right. I gave the movie a 4. I didn't even give it a 0.5. I gave it a straight 4 because while you're absolutely right, there is not many huge action sequences, a lot of espionage sequences, bombing, which I think is one of the best bombings I think so far in the thing. It's really good. I mean, the 4K does show the CGI-ness of it, which I'm like, it is what it is for its time. It still looked great on screen. I was like, okay, this looks great. You're right. No car chases. We had no, I mean, you're doing the sandstone, but it's not technically. Yeah. So I was like, okay, you had to run through there. You're right. He had to climb, which I agree. That's not even an action sequence. Now, him getting shot during it, I would have been like, oh, damn, that would be cool. But no. The beginning of the movie with how they showed you how the list of the nuclear codes got taken, I'm not going to lie. It was a really good sequence.
Yeah,
I thought it set up the movie very well. And I think that guy, what the hell is his name? Josh Holloway. I think he should have stayed in the show. I think he was amazing as the agent. They should have never killed him off. I thought he was really good. And I think they should have gave him another, like another espionage movie or something. Because I thought he was believable for that little small role. I thought he was really good. I mean, then he met up with the girl from Spectre in No Time to Die and got shot up. But with that said, I agree. I gave it a 4 because I felt like certain scenes were lackluster, anticlimactic, like that fight at the end. Did not like it at all. The old guy outrunning Ethan Hunt was stupid. And I was just like, this, I had to deduct points because it's not even flying with me here. And it's weird, right? Because we came from Philip Seymour Hoffman's character that beats his ass all over the place with a bomb in his head. And this dude that's a scientist can't even figure out to do something like that.
He's fast. He sure is fast.
Oh, he's mad fast. Yeah. I was like, geez, Louise. So, and he didn't have much henchmen. He had the one guy. For a scientist, I thought you were going to have like this big elaborate plan. You know what I mean?
Like Sabine could have been a cool female villain because there's not really been that in this franchise. And she was cool. She's just underused, right? She has that cool scene in the beginning where she shoots him.
You're absolutely right.
She gets in the fight and she gets thrown out the window. That's it. That's it. One fight. So she could have been cooler.
You're absolutely right. I was thinking about that. Like, what happened if she was the character of Vanessa Kirby down the line?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know what? I mean, I'm not going to talk about the future stuff. I just feel like this franchise as a whole, there's always that old lady
arms person.
Yes, that he got to go to. And I don't know. I just feel like there's just a traditional thing. Like,
there's definitely tropes. 4 movies in,
same tropes over and over. Yes, and we're going to talk about it, and I might deduct. I don't know, but it might deduct. But in this case, I don't think the action was that crazy. I gave it a 4, which is still great. You get a 4.5.
Yeah.
Let's talk about story.
Okay. All right. This is where I was like, I think the movie's really good. I do. I see why the critics like it so much. I see why the audience likes it so much. But again, it's more, this one, it feels more spy. I won't say it's like part 1. Part 1 is like a straight up like spy movie. It has barely action. This at least has action in it. But it feels like, I would say maybe 70% spy movie, 30% action movie. And when you do that, you need a good story if you're going to be telling a story. And it has a good story. My knock on it, and where it doesn't get a 5 from me for sure, is, at this point, we've done this so many times. There's 2 things I'm not a fan of. 1, super convenient things. This movie has a lot of conveniences that happen. Most of them are negative, but it leads right into it. And number 2 is when you have a franchise and they keep doing the same thing over and over. This is the 4th movie. And once again, they're bad. They're bad guys now. They're on the run. It's like why every single Mission Impossible movie is Ethan Hunt branded a terrorist and is like, he blew up the Kremlin. He did this. He blew up, England. He blew up the Vatican. It's like, dude, this is can we do something different than they're doing a mission, something goes bad, and now they're bad guys and they're on the run and they got to clear their name, or they're in hiding, or to me, it's like lazy. It's lazy when you keep doing the same exact thing. Now, is it well written? Yes. Do they do a good job of telling that story? Yes. But is it a story I've seen 4 times already? Yes, it is. I have seen this already. So that's number one. Number two, the one thing that irked me in this movie, and I here's where I was torn. I didn't minus more points for it, but I minused because the whole movie, everything they do, everything breaks, right? Like throughout the whole movie, you get the first one with the screen, breaks, messes up, almost ruins it. Then you have the mask, breaks, messes up. Can't use the mask. Got to pretend to be themselves. Then they do it. I forgot what the other one. There's another one where like they go to use this thing. Oh, the suit where with the magnet thing almost breaks. He almost dies when Jeremy Renner's jumping down the thing and the magnet catches him.
Yes,
and it doesn't work. It's going to mess up. Then at the end with the missile, this is not working. We have no power. It's like, oh my gosh. I get it. And they do factor it into the story because they mention it. Like, man, everything's broken. And in a way, it's like, okay, they're not using their top resources because they're like disavowed technically, but still, it became a little bit like, okay, it's repetitive. With that said, I gave it a 3.5. I gave it a 3. I thought I was gonna love this movie more, and now watching it, being a little older, 15 years later, I feel differently about it. I still think it's very good, but I had to deduct some points, so 3.5 for me.
Yeah, I gave this movie a 3. Storyline. I thought the storyline was very good. You're absolutely right. It's a very repetitive storyline. I don't know how many times you're right on the road. It reminded me of Jack Bauer. Like, how many times there's always someone in CTU that's a mold? Like, every season there's a CTU agent, a mold. I'm like, oh my God, this is getting comical. And this movie franchise does that. And while you said it the best, it's one of the best. You know, they got great writers that can tell different stories with the same stuff, but it does get tiring. You're right. Gadget's messed up. You know, his glove can't go on the mirror now because it's just broken.
I forgot about the glove. Yeah, the glove messes up. Everything messes up the whole movie.
Yeah, they don't have time because and this is what another thing that pissed me off, that I was just like, oh, come on. How many times that he'll go, how do we know if he saw her or him? These dudes are bad guys. How they never meet each other? They never send photos of like, this is the guy you're going to meet in this hotel. Like, we're going to take a chance that he never met that person in the without a mask. So again, I totally agree with you. I was just like, the storyline with nuclear codes, get it. I thought it was cool. I thought it was dope. I liked the beginning. It was great. They set up the story with revenge with that one agent, Ethan Hunt. Cool. I liked it. I wish, honestly, we get away from the whole they are disinvolved. I'm just tired of it. And I wanted to see more of their headquarters. Like, show me that. They never show IMF headquarters. Only once at the end of part 3, where you just see them in the glass building, but that's it. Like, we never see them walk. This is IMF or them showing anything. Like, I was just like, geez, that kind of stinks. Like, you're always getting a tape recorder. He's never in office. Again, I guess it is what they're agents on the run, whatever. But I agree. The storyline was good, but you're right. The older I got, I'm just like, still a great movie. I just want people to say, all together, the package, we'll talk about that now. But in terms of like from action scenes and story, I think they complemented each other very well. Like a nice sandwich with a pickle. So with that said, overall,
I do love a good pickle with my sandwich. So
I know you do.
That reference. I like that. Pretty good.
Overall,
I agree with you. I actually agree with the very last thing you said. Like, I gave it a 4. I think it's a good movie. I don't have a problem watching it. It's just different than I remember. So that's where some of the points come in. And obviously, you know, we're going through with a fine-tooth comb, especially we're 4 movies into this franchise. You're starting to like compare it to the ones that came before. At the time that this came out, it was 5 years after part 3. So like, let's just say you go to the theater only. You hadn't seen part 3 in a while, maybe. Yeah. We just watched it last week. So it's a little more fresher. But I think the movie's very good. A couple things I want to mention. Brad Bird directed this movie. This was his first ever live action movie. He had done animation only to this point. Iron Giant, Ratatouille, and The Incredibles. That's all he had really done. And some like Simpsons episodes. So incredible for a first time live action. I think he did a great job. amazing job. A very creative guy. I think that's good. 2, I like that there is an Easter egg for any fans out there of Pixar. At the beginning, when your boy Josh Holloway is wearing the ring, there's a number on it. It's A113. That is in almost every single Pixar movie. It is a classroom that was in like a college where all these animators went that work for Pixar. Like Pete Docter, John Lasseter, Brad Bird. So it's like a little Easter egg, which I thought was cool because it's not a Disney movie at all, but he still snuck in the little Easter egg. Michael Giacchino doing the music. He did the score for part 3. The music's great. I think the music in 3 and 4 is the best out of what we've heard so far. So like it has all these great elements. Good direction, good cast. Paula Patton, gorgeous, great. Looks great, well shot. Good movie. Just wish it was a little better in a few departments, but I think overall it's a very solid entry in this franchise, and I gave it a 4.
Yeah, I agree. I gave it a 4 too. I think as a total package, like I said before, I think this worked out very well. I love the music in 4, dude. I love it. I love how it goes from like, he gives you little hints of the Mission Impossible theme, but it's not like grand, like 007, like it's not that loud. But I love when he's walking down the Kremlin in the mask, and you hear the theme song playing soft with the Russian music. I was like, that's dope. Like, I was like, I like the cues. And I got to say, the prison break, I thought was a hilarious thing. Yeah. But I love, this has to be, and I don't know if you agree with me, this has to be, that sequence has to be the best cold open of all of them. When he's like, light the fuse, and she goes.
Not only will I agree with you, I'll one up you and say this has the best opening credits of the whole movie.
Oh, yeah, with the fuse going around.
Like the fuse part is so sick, and then it goes into like an animation, and then they show you clips from what's going to happen in the movie. Like
very
the best opening credits out of all of them.
I was sitting there and I watched it because I totally forgot when he does it, and when he did it, I'm like, bro, this joint is dope.
You kind of hype for the rest of the movie.
It does. It really does. Like honestly, like I think I told you before, man. I think this is the best cold open for a movie. I was like, okay, this one and. I mean, we already did 007, but I think this one and Skyfall and Casino Royale are the 3. Like I say, Skyfall.
Which is the one where Pierce Brosnan was in the boat.
In the boat. Oh, that's The World Not Enough. You always like that one, yeah. You like that one, yeah.
But this one is good, and this franchise, I think so far, it's the best like pre-credits.
Yeah, it's crazy because it just blends with the music. He's like, light the fuse, and it's like.
That animation background came in handy for those opening credits.
It did very well.
Around. Yeah.
It's like, and you see their face. And I loved it. I thought it was pretty cool. You see clips of the movie. So anyway, I thought that was really good. Overall, I gave it a 4. I think it's a solid package. I think it's a solid 4 sequels. It's rare that you get a really good 4 film that is really good. And I got to say, to me, better than part 3. I got to say, I kind of like it better than part 3. Wow. I do enjoy Philip Seymour Hoffman as the bad guy more than this guy.
Sure.
But I think as a total package, I was more invested in this one because it felt more espionage-y. The other one felt grittier, Mission Impossible because of J.J. Abrams.
3 is like the most action of these 4 movies.
Yeah. So for me, I just felt like this one to me just felt floating my boat. Okay. With that said, total points.
I have an 18. Out of a 25, which is lower than 3. I had the 20. I gave 3 a 20, I think. But, I don't know. They're pretty on par for me. Like, I like them both a lot. It'd be tough for me to just pick one randomly. I like and enjoy both, even though that one got more because the villain is better.
No, I get it. I gave it a 17. I'm one below you. Again, the villain hurt it. Because if it had a great villain, this thing would have been in the 20s, baby. But anyway, with that said, that's 17. All right, Nate, what is coming up next on the podcast?
So next, continuing on with our season of movies based on TV shows, we're going to finish out this franchise, obviously. So the next one is Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, which, you know, we like to do a little preview. I'm pretty sure I love this 5th one. Now, I'm pretty sure. I have not seen it since a while. I don't rewatch movies in general like all the time anyway, but it's been a minute, but I remember loving it. So more than 4. So we'll see. I know it has Rebecca Ferguson debuts. Jimmy Renner's back in that one. So let's see how it goes.
Alec Baldwin as a Secretary of Defense.
That's right. Alec. Yeah, I remember Rogue Nation. I remember liking it a lot. So we'll see, but that's the one we got coming up next.
I will say this. This is the one that my wife loves the bad guy. She liked the bad guy a lot.
Redhead guy.
Yeah, the Irish dude.
Yeah, he's
Hello, Ethan.
And this has a motorcycle. It has a motorcycle chase scene, which is really good.
BMW car chase. Wait, no, is it this one? BMW car chase scene?
I know they have the motorcycles.
That's right. We're for Rebecca Ferguson. Yes. Yeah.
Go to the opera, and it has that like opera.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
you
see her
good.
sexy legs. You see her sexy legs right on the screen.
Sexy
legs. Sexy legs.
That's what she's been called. Mission Impossible. Sexy legs.
Sexy legs. All right, guys. You guys like what you hear? Again, subscribe to the channel. Also, we have the video versions of the podcast over on YouTube. Check it out. It's at Geeks and Flicks over on YouTube. Subscribe. Leave comments on your favorite episodes. Hit that like button. Of course, you can still take us on the go with the Action Movie Guys podcast, available on all podcast platforms. Leave ratings. Leave some comments. We'll get back to you. But with that said, I'm your host, Ash Figueroa. My co-host is
Nate from Netflix Reviews.
Be awesome to each other and geek out.